I'm reviewing The Kids Will Know It's Bullshit by Dune Rats.
At a party, who's got green? Cocaine or ecstasy? Cigarettes and LSD? It doesn't really matter, just gimme.
Dune Rats come off like the ultimate party band. 3 long-haired, dope-smoking, shoey-drinking roosters from Brisbane who write sloppy, 3-chord punk rock songs that'll stick in your head no matter how many bucket bongs you've done in the last half hour. Dig a little deeper though, and you will find a surprisingly dark heart pumping the booze-riddled blood around Dune Rats' second album. There is boredom in these lyrics, there is alienation, and there is a world-weary nihilism at odds with their party-hardy persona. It's there in the very first line of the very first song, Don't Talk, as frontman Danny Buse sneers, "Why? Everybody's gonna die. I don't ever want to dream again." This being a Dune Rats album though, there's still plenty of stupidity and smartassery, and musically it's never spectacular, but achieves what it sets out to do. Take an ounce of the hard-ons and a 6-pack of early Nirvana, mix it with a goon bag of cosmic psychos and drink till you can't stand up. The impression from this album though, is that when the hangover comes, it's going to be brutal. Who's got a toke on this?
Oh. I actually wrote their bio and press release, so I'm going to divest myself.
Right.
This,
And how many bongs did you have to smoke before you could write that?
Once again, I have to divest myself from any of these. Just like Donald Trump and his business interests, it's a conflict of interest I'm going to sit out.
So it's up to me.
It's up to you.
Here
Hit
we
it.
go.
Simply Red?
Yeah.
Well,
Simply green.
okay, so I had written this album off until I heard what you had to say about there being some sort of darkness underneath. So I'm going to listen to it again and see if I can find that. Can't say I found it the first time I listened to it. It just sounded to me like they were just really playing to a festival crowd, coming up with these one-liners about, you know, getting your brother to buy you a 6-pack, let's get fucked up, you know, all that stuff. It just feels like they're just playing to those guys in the crowd who just want to shout that stuff back at them. And I just felt like there was very little to it other than that.
But even that
You
song,
sound like it's a
6-pack,
bad thing.
even that song 6-pack, I think one of the lyrics in there is, you know, my brother brought us a 6-pack, bad smokes and a bottle of We Don't Care. I just thought there's just that kind of,
It's a disaffected youth,
it's
isn't
kind of
it?
disaffected. I can just see these guys, you know, sobering up, looking around, going, what are we going to do? There's nothing to do.
Look, I hear what you're saying, and I'm definitely going to listen to it again because I want to give that the benefit of the doubt, because I appreciate that angle, and I appreciate that there are teenagers and young people out there, you know, feeling that way, growing up in places where maybe there's not a whole lot going on for them, and maybe this band is a beacon of hope, so that maybe they're telling them, you know, all the things they're going through. But I guess I just didn't hear it the first time, and it felt a bit shameless to me. It felt like they were really just trying to get that crowd, to get those guys on their side. And
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about the depth, because I think it's entirely possible, but I think I don't see anything wrong with writing songs and playing for the festival crowd, because the festival crowd, that's what they're there for. Let's face it, they're not there for us. They're not there for people who are going to say, "Oh, gee, do you really want to have a 7th can of beer? You know, 2 6-packs? And is it really wise that you pull a 3rd bong in this half hour?" So, like, they could care less what we think, and fair enough. And why should they?
Yeah.
And they've got an audience who's going to shout the lyrics back to them.
Yeah.
But you see, I don't agree. I think that young people who go to festivals, they pay a lot of money for those tickets. I think they care about the music. They do things like they vote for the hottest 100.
They go see the Dune Rats, and they want to see the Dune Rats do that. If they want to see somebody being deep and meaningful, they could maybe go play the Elbow album, and then sit there and say, "This is boring shit. I think I'd rather play."
They should play the old Elbow album.
And I think the thing with Dune Rats is as well, I don't think that musically it's bad. I think it's proficient. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And if that's what you want, if you want that 3-chord, grungy, punky, there's some good melodies on here. Like,
exactly, they're not stupid. They're not complete. You know, what brain cells they've got, they're destroying. But they write exactly what they want to write, how they want to write it, do it well, and the audience that they have is getting what they want, and they're actually getting a little bit more. They're getting the depth, but they're actually getting a little better structured songs than some of the people in this genre do. And because they're not 15-year-olds writing songs for 15-year-olds, they're a little bit older, they're a little bit more experienced, and they're fun. And I couldn't listen to a whole Dune Rats album uninterrupted. I have to step away for a bit you know, pick up
Repack the
a book,
cone.
pick up a book without photos, just to feel a little smarter for a few minutes. But geez, if anybody like us is sitting there saying you're doing this wrong, they could care less.
And I'm quite willing to admit that I may have looked too deep into this. That everything I said, there might be absolutely none of that in there. But I just couldn't help but get that sense that it's not all lightness and and festivals and we're drinking. Is it drinking to have a good time or drinking to forget? I don't know.
And
You can't remember.
whatever reason you're drinking, you're still waking up the next morning feeling like shit,
Yeah.
and that's in here as well.
Yeah. So I give it 3 stars.